Now in class 8, we are starting over here with the chapter 1, matter. I think you already studied this chapter in the class 6, 7, even in the chemistry you have studied this chapter. So once again we are going to have a look over this chapter with much more new terms and new point inclusions. Okay, so the chapter 1 is matter. Okay, what is the matter? Matter is anything that occupies space, has mass, and can be perceived by the senses. I think you already know these points that this the matter is anything or of any substance is any substance that contains the mass. It has mass. The secondly, it is perceived by the senses, and thirdly, it occupies the space. So it has mass, it occupies space, and perceived by the senses. These are the important and very small things that you already known about it and had some knowledge about this. The in the previous sections you have must studied about this matter. Okay, so matter are divided as a form or in the three states that is known as solid, another one is liquid, and another one is gas. So you already know that the matter is divided into the three terms, that is a solid, liquid, and gas. Here, for example, the solid appears in a form of ice, liquid appears in a form of water, and a gas appears in a form of vapor. Okay, I think you also know that matter is consist of or matter is made up of atom or molecules. Okay, you must have gone through this chapter when you were in class 6, that is matter consists of it is made up of atom and molecules. When two or more same kind or other kind of atoms combine, they form a molecule. Okay, so these molecules basically are the atoms. Okay, the next word we over here include in the matter terms when I said you that when two or same kind or another kind of atom combine, they form a molecule. Okay, so matter, atom and molecules formation, that is atom and molecule formation, depends upon the when two or more kind of atoms combine to form a molecule. Okay, when such an one kind, if you're talking about the one kind of atom, okay, that is I'm talking about the one kind of atom, so that only single kind of atom is known as element. A one single kind of atom is known as element. For example, just like sodium, 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 all those who are having as you are studying the chemistry, you must know this is a sodium element. Okay, that is your sodium. Okay, and other metals also like potassium. Okay, calcium. So these are the elements which are having a one kind of atom. Okay, when one kind of atom do not act, just suppose when one kind of atom do not act and there must be different kinds of atoms and they combine to form when there will be a different kinds of atoms and they combine to form, suppose you have different kind of atoms, you have different, okay, a different kind of atoms. Okay, when two are atoms, they are different kinds of atoms and they get combined with each other, that they form a combination, they form chemically, they combine, basically they do not combine automatically, they are made to be combined like in a reaction chemically, that is known as compound. That is known as compound. Compound can be HCl, water, H2O. So these are basically compounds. Okay, so in this study In this study, we came to know that matter is basically a mass that contains matter basically contains the mass, and it occupies a space perceived by the senses. Matters consists of solid, liquid and gases. Okay, the matter has the combination of atoms, and when same kinds of atom combine, they form a molecules. Okay, when these matters basically works in a one single kind of atom, so they form an element like sodium, potassium and calcium. And when a different kind of atoms, they will combine to form a chemically, they form a compound. So there are new words which are included over here in the first attempt of this chapter, that is the new formation, how you are going to form an element, how a compound is formed. So for your conveniency, we can say a single atom is an element. Okay, single atom is an element. When two or one atom, more than two atom, normal, it's very normal, two or more atoms, they combine. Okay, they can be of same kind also, they can be of different kind also. So they combine to chemically, they form a compound, that is HCl, H2O. So these are the things you have to get touch in this. Now in these now the next topic of discussion is over the solid, liquid, gas, that is how really they work. As you are not in class 6 or 7, so you are in class 8, your theory and your pattern of learning will increase. So here we are going to discuss a new pattern of learning, that is the solid, liquid and gas all have some and other molecules. Okay, so in the solid, the molecules are very closely packed. You can see they form a white sand and they are closely packed. Just see over here, they are very much closely packed with each other. There are very less space and a high intermolecular force of attraction between them. You can see that molecules are very confined to each other and they closely packed over here. So the solids have the point that they are closely packed. So these are the points I'm writing, they are closely packed. Okay, there very less space, just see very less in between, so they have a less void space. Okay, this is the space which is left over, known as void space. Okay, the third part is they are very tightly bound with each other, so they have a high intermolecular force of attraction. High intermolecular force of attraction. So these are the points you should remember about the solids. Okay, so these are the points you must include about the solid. The first point is the solids are closely packed, they have a less void space and a high intermolecular force of attraction. Okay, so as they were closely packed, are their molecules are able to move from one place to another? No, they are not liable to move. They are able to vibrate at their position, but they cannot move from one place to another place. So they have a less random motion and a vibratory motion. So they have a less random motion. Solids have a less random motion. Solids have less random motion because the molecules cannot move from here and there, and their molecules vibrate at their position, so they are closer. So they do not have, they are not moving, so they do not have a kinetic energy. As they do not have a kinetic energy, so their kinetic theories and a kinetic motion does not provide any postulates or subsequents to us. Okay, so we cannot find any postulates with the help of solid. So what we are left with, the liquids and the gases. Okay, so just move on to the liquids and the gases, which also consist of particles or molecules. Okay, so in the liquids, one molecule is there, one molecule is here, another molecule is here. They're like this, and this one. Okay, so here the molecules are not very closely packed, but they have that tendency that they can move from one place to another. Okay, so they can move from one place and they can move here and there in the liquids. Okay, so they are not closely packed, but they have a tendency to have a random motion, so they are randomly active to move. Okay, so liquid molecules are randomly active to move. Those things which can move from one place to another, they have some velocity, and whenever the velocity is taken in a term of force, it has some kinetic energy. So in liquids, the molecules or these particles are in continuous motion, so randomly active continuous motion. Okay, this randomly active continuous motion enables the molecules and these particles to follow some important kinetic postulates. So they follow some important kinetic postulates, and we will discuss these postulates in the next topic. Okay, let it be, wait for a minute. Okay, now we will come to the gases. Okay, now the gases have molecules like this. They are very much active. They have a wide space, wide WIED, wide void space. That is, they have a very large space to move on, and the gases are very much highly active. Okay, they are highly active molecules, and continuously they move. They continuously move continuously, and when they move continuously, they collide with each other. As they collide with each other, they produce more molecules. That's why they move here and there, and the space in which the gas is occupied will increase in size. So when they continuously move, they become kinetically active. Okay, they become kinetically active and follows the kinetic theory postulates. So solids are not liable to have kinetic theory. Only the liquids and the gases have that tendency to follow up with the kinetic theory of postulates. As why? What is the reason? The reason behind this, because the molecules in the liquid also and molecules in the gases also have a random motion to move from one place to another. They are kinetically active, they have a continuous motion, and then they follow the kinetic theory of postulates. So in the next topic, we will discuss about the kinetic theory of postulates. Now, the postulates of the kinetic theory. What are the postulates given over here for the kinetic theory of matter? Okay, the first postulate. All the liquids and the gases are made up of tiny particles and molecules. So as you know, all the liquids and the gases are having lots of liquids in a liquid molecules and a gaseous molecules. These liquid and a gaseous molecules are known as to be tiny particles. Okay, when these are in here in the confined liquids and gases, they can randomly move here and there. Okay, so when they can have randomly move here and there, it means tiny particles have a random motion. They are liable to move from here to there, and they have a random motion. This is a second postulate. Okay, now the third postulate. Now the third postulate says that is, between the molecules there is a force. All these molecules exert a force upon each other, and they have some attraction force or a repulsion force. That attraction and a repulsion force is known as intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular force maybe, because it can be attraction also, it can be of repulsion also. We do not define the attraction force, so it will be a intermolecular force. Okay, the next is there is always a void spaces. Just see, there's a space over here, all over here, all these are spaces are known as void space. So all the liquids and gases have the void space. Okay, so these are the postulates given for the kinetic theory to understand that all the liquids, gases, and even the solids have these. While they are made of tiny particles, yes, it's true for all three. Random motion, it is true for liquids and gases. When they have intermolecular force of attraction or a repulsion, intermolecular force of bindation between the molecules is for the liquid, gases, and solids, and there is a void spaces in between these molecules. Now we will discuss about the arrangement of molecules in the different states of matter. That is, the first we will discuss about the solids. As I have told you that the solids are having those molecules which are very closely packed with each other. Okay, they are very less intermolecular force of attraction between them, and they are very closely packed. You see, they are very closely packed with each other and a very less void space. So as they were very closely packed with each other, they can apply attractive force or a repulsive force between each other. It can be attractive force also or a repulsive force, not sure yet, because depends upon the molecules which is close over there. So it can be attractive force or a repulsive force between the molecules. So it's an attractive force or a repulsive force between the molecules. As I told you, they can have not liable to move and they do not have a random motion. So what they do, they vibrate at their position to and fro. Okay, they vibrate like this. There are the molecules over here attached to it, and they vibrate like this at their position. Okay, so there is a vibratory motion at their places. So they can vibrate to and fro at their position. So due to these attractive and repulsive forces and a vibratory motion, and due to this compact structure, basically due to all these 3 points, the solids are crystalline in nature. They basically are crystalline in nature. So they form a crystalline form and they are crystalline in nature. That is, they are having a definite shape. So if someone asks you whether solids have a definite shape, these are the 3 reasons you have. Okay. So in the solids, you have to remember that in the arrangement of the molecules have very less space, attractive and repulsive force between the molecules. It can be attractive also, it can be repulsive also. It has a vibratory motion, compact structure, and they form a crystalline form. And due to all these forms, they have a definite shape. Okay, so this is a reason why they are of definite shape. Now we comes to here over the liquids. Okay, now the liquids. As I told you before, the liquids are not that much compact structure, but they are somewhat intermolecular space between the molecules. Okay, and they have that tendency to move here and there. So they have the tendency to have a random motion. Okay, so the molecules are liable to perform a random motion, and they can attract or repel each other with the one and forces, and they can move freely in a liquid. So they have the tendency, okay, they have random random motion, okay, okay, with attractive or repulsive force between the molecules. Okay, it can be attractive force also, and it can be a repulsive force between the molecules. Repulsive force between molecules. Okay, so these liquids have a random motion with attractive repulsive force between the molecules. Okay, then they are liable to move freely within a liquid. Okay, that's why they can move here and there. So they can move freely. They move freely. Okay, so as they move freely and have a random motion, and they can move here and there, so they basically do not have a definite shape. So these liquids do not have a definite shape because the molecules can move here and there in any way. As they can move here and there in any way, so they cannot have a definite shape. So in that case, they do not have no definite shape. Thus, to make them into the shape, what we do, whatever the container they are put in, they acquire that shape. So they acquire the container shapes. Containers shape. Okay. So please remember about this, the liquid, that they have a random motion with attractive or repulsive force between the molecules. They move freely, no definite shape, and they acquire the container shape. Okay. Now we next move to the gases. The gases. Gases are having the molecules which are very far apart, very much far apart. Okay, so they are very far, not even like a liquids. Liquids even have a such, not such a far position, but here in the gases you having the molecules very much far apart. Okay, so gases are very having a molecules very far apart than a solid and a liquid. Okay, so they got a way much space to move here and there and to get collide to produce more molecules. Okay, so they have high random motion. So they have high random motion. Okay, the second thing has free to move here and there. They are free to move. Okay, they are free to move. They can move freely. As they move from here to there, they have some kinetic motion. That is the kinetic energy. Whenever something move here, there and there, they have some kinetic motion. Kinetic motion. So as they have a kinetic motion, free to move, they start colliding with each other. So they collide with each other and with the walls of the container in which they put in, and walls of container. So while colliding, they produces more molecules. So they produce more molecules. Okay, so the gases have that tendency, they produce more molecules. As they produce more molecules, they start expanding. So expansion of gases take place. So expansion of gases molecules within a gas molecules take place. That's why they do not have a definite shape and volume. That's why the gases are also put whatever the shape they inhaled in, they acquire that shape. So they do not have no definite shape. Okay, Even the gases also has no definite shape. So gases have these type of high qualities that the molecules have very high random motion, okay. So the arrangement on the molecules that they have a high random motion, free to move, kinetic motion, they collide with each other, okay, and with the walls of the container, and more molecules produces, and due to this more molecules expand from one place to another, so they do not acquire the definite shape, okay. So these are the points you have to get remember, and always remember that the gases have a less intermolecular force of attraction, very less. Liquid has less than the solids, and the solids have the maximum intermolecular force of attraction because molecules are confined to each other. Now these are the some important points that you have to get to know about these change in the states of matters. Now we have discussed about the solid, liquid and the gases, but we do not discuss how the solid changes into the liquid changes into the gases, and the gases changes into the solids, and the vice versa. So we haven't discussed about these points. Now we are going to discuss these conversions which must be taking place over here in the solid, liquid and the gases, okay. So the first term we are here to discuss is that is called the melting, okay. Something get melt, okay. So melting, how are you going to discuss about the melting, how the melting take place. The first point of the melting to be here is those substances which change them into the from solid state to the liquid state. The first we can discuss over here that the melting process is a process in which the solid state changes into liquid state, and you have a very good example of this related to this, that is the ice changes to liquid or a water, okay. So this is a very good and a known examples, okay. So how this process take place, we are going to discuss it over here, okay. When a heat is applied to a solid state, when you provide a heat energy to the ice, the molecules of this solid absorb the heat energy, okay. When you heat up the ice, all the energy which is of through the heating absorbed by the ice, and the molecules kinetic motion, kinetic energy increases. The first point what you have going to include, when ice is heated, okay. When ice is heated, heat energy increases, which is taken up by molecules. So these molecules take up this energy and changes into the form of kinetic energy, okay. So kinetic energy get to be increases, okay. So kinetic energy in this case has been increases. So when you over provide an ice to, when you are over provided a heat to an ice, molecules take that energy, and that heat energy get into the kinetic energy. As the in a solid, the molecules are confined to each other like this, so when a energy get disturbed, this bond get break up, okay, and this energy is taken up by the molecules, and by taking these molecule energy, the molecules are ready to move here and there. As they start ready to move from here to there, at that position ice get melt, and the ice changes into the liquid form, okay. So we can say that as you know that the solids have a very high intermolecular force of attraction, so as the kinetic energy increases, that intermolecular force of attraction decreases. So intermolecular force of attraction decreases, intermolecular force of attraction So always remember that whenever you provide a heat to an ice, its kinetic energy increases and intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules decreases. Hence, the distance between the molecules increases. Hence, distance between molecules increases. Distance between molecules increases. So this, as the distance between the molecules increases, they become randomly active and start moving. Okay, so they become, so molecules are free to move. So molecules are free to move. Okay, so at a particular temperature, when the all the energy taken up by the ice, which may, and that is energy increases, and that at the point where the intermolecular force of attraction decreases, at that point, at that point where at that point and at that particular temperature is known as melting point. Okay, so a particular temperature at which solid changes into liquid, at a particular temperature at which solid changes into the liquid, that particular temperature is known as melting point. Okay, and the process is known as melting. So please remember that during the melting, the solid changes into the liquid. The solid is formed, example is an ice. You provide a heat and changes into the water. That ice take up the heat, and that heat energy taken up by the molecules. So molecules get vibrated at their position, they take that kinetic energy, and their kinetic energy decreases. The intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules become weak, and they try to move here and there. Okay, as the distance between the molecules increases, molecules are free to move. At the point where they become free to move, and at that point solid changes into the liquid. At that point where at that particular temperature. Now we move to the next topic, that is the boiling point or the boiling. Okay, boiling is a process in which the liquid state changes into the gaseous state. Okay, I haven't written it down again. I just rub out the main points, the main criterias, and proceed in the same. So boiling is a process in which the liquid state changes into the gaseous state. Okay, liquid is here, we can discuss over the water, and water changes into the gaseous form. Okay, when water is heated, that heat energy which you are providing, the heat energy to the water, that heat energy is taken up by the molecules of the water. Okay, as the molecules of the water take that energy, that their kinetic energy increases. As their kinetic energy increases, they are free to move randomly from here to there. Hence, the intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules also decreases. As the interaction force decreases between them, they are free to move here and there. So they are liable to move here. Now they can move here. Okay, they can move here. So they are liable to move here and there in a gas form. Okay, so distance between the molecules also increases, and molecules are free to move, forming the liquid into the gaseous state. Okay, so a particular temperature at which the liquid state changes into the gaseous state is known as boiling point, and the process we have discussed is over here. These are the points should be included. Now the next point of discussion is freezing. So freezing is a process in which the liquid state changes into the solid state, that is, the water is way of changing into the ice. So here you cannot provide a heat to it. Whatever the heat consumed in the liquid state is removed from the liquid. So here the heat energy is removed from the liquid. Okay, when you put a bowl of water in a freezer, okay, whatever the heat energy is confined to the molecules of that liquid, they move out, and whatever the cold energy of the freeze, that is whatever the machinery works over there, that is taken away by that places. Okay, so as you know, the energy have a tendency to move from higher portion to the lower portion, so it has the less energy, so all the cold energy moves to the water. So heat energy is removed from the liquid over here in the process of freezing. Remove from liquid. Okay, as the heat energy is removed from the liquid, the kinetic energy between the molecules, because now they are getting into the solid state, they are not liable to move here and there, they are getting to be compact, they are coming, the molecules are coming closer with each other because the energy is removing. So heat energy is removed from the liquid, kinetic energy decreases. Okay, here the kinetic energy decreases. As the kinetic energy decreases, the intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules, because it is coming to the closer with each other, so the intermolecular force of attraction increases. Okay, so the distance between the molecules, what it does, it is, that is, decreases. Okay, and the molecules are not free to move here and there, so are not free to move here and there, so they will become confined at their position. A particular temperature at the state at which liquid state changes to solid state is known as freezing point. So these are the points you include in the freezing. The first we discuss over here about that convergence in by providing a heat. Here we are removing a heat from the liquid portion. So liquid, whatever the energy it has, the water has consumed, that is removed away, so the kinetic energy between the molecule decreases, intermolecular force of attraction increases, and the distance between the molecules also decreases, and now the molecules are not free to move, they become compact with each other. Okay, now the next process of discussion over here is sublimation. It is a state of the solid to change directly into the gaseous form. Okay, so the solid state changes directly to the gaseous state. Okay, so here in solid, or here in the sublimation, solid state directly changes into the gaseous state. That is, for example, we have the dry ice. It's an example. We have a dry ice. It changes into the vapors, into the vapors form at a temperature 78.5 degree Celsius. So this is an example of having a solid state, that is dry ice, changes into the vapor. Okay, so how it get changes, what you have to do, first you have to heat the solid state. Okay, when heated, solid form, okay, so when you heat the solid form, it absorbs that energy, and the kinetic energy of the molecules increases. Okay, so when you, and without moving it to the liquid state, that is, we are here over here having changing the solid directly to the gaseous form, we are not coming to the liquid state. So when heat is a very maximum amount of heat, when heated solid form, when heated solid form changes directly to vapors, changes directly to vapors, so they do not move to the liquid form. Okay, so when heated solid form changes directly to vapors without going to the liquid form, what happen, they directly absorb maximum energy, they directly absorb maximum energy and kinetic energy of molecules, kinetic energy of molecules abruptly increases. abruptly increases, then suddenly increases. Do not write abruptly. I don't think so. You don't know the meaning. So energy of the molecules suddenly increases. Okay. This sudden increase in the energy do not make the solid to come into the liquid state. This sudden increase. Okay. So when the kinetic energy of the molecules increases, intermolecular force of attraction also decreases. So intermolecular force of attraction decreases. So as the intermolecular force of attraction decreases, it directly changes into the gaseous state. Now we have the next topic that is known as desublimation. Desublimation. Okay. Or you can say deposition. And another name of this is desublimation or deposition. In this gaseous state, get back to the solid state without coming to the liquid forms. Okay. So here the gaseous state directly changes into the solid state. So the simple example over here for the gaseous state, we have taken iodine vapors and make it to change directly into the solid form, that is iodine. So we are making over here the iodine vapors to change into the iodine form. A crystalline form it comes, so it changes into the iodine form. This is the gaseous state. Here in this, to come into the gaseous to come into the solid state from the gaseous state, what the substance has to get cooled. So as the substance has to get cooled, it has to lose its energy, whatever the energy is required, whatever the energy has acquired in the gaseous form, it gives back that energy and acquire the cold energy, due to which there is a loss in the kinetic energy and hence the intermolecular force of attraction increases. So when it's to be when, so I will rub this point, okay, because nothing to be used, right again. So the next point, to change it into the direct solid state, what we do, whatever the gaseous state has acquired the heat, there is a loss of heat take place. So whenever you get it to cool down, a loss of heat take place. As a loss of heat take place, the kinetic energy of the molecules, which are having such a random motion, they are moving here there. So when they are getting into the compact, kinetic energy of the molecules, kinetic energy of the molecules, because they are coming closer to each other, so kinetic energy of the molecules decreases. As the kinetic energy of the molecule decreases, intermolecular force of attraction increases. As the intermolecular force of attraction increases, so they become compact with each other and hence form a solid. An example is iodine vapors changes into the iodine. Okay. Now here the next topic of discussion is to change the liquid state into the gaseous state. Okay. Evaporation is the point where the liquid changes into the gas form. Here also you require to supply a heat to the liquid state. So in the liquid state, the molecules take that energy. Again, they get energy. Their kinetic energy increases. Intermolecular force of attraction decreases, and they're free to move here and there. Hence, they are at a high temperature. The rate of evaporation get more and more heated, and the water changes into the and reaches to the boiling point. Okay, basically evaporation must be take place below the boiling point, that is below the 100 degrees Celsius. So always remember that this liquid state to the gas state take place below the boiling point. So if it reaches to the boiling point, then the which we are studying the points get it over. Okay, so below the boiling point, this liquid state changes into the gaseous state, because at the boiling point they already changes into the gas form. Okay, so the first is when heat is provided. So when heat get increase, you can say heat get increase, or you provide the heat, whatever your choice, depends upon you. So when heat energy is applied to a liquid, its heat energy, we can also write when heat energy get increased. That will be a good word to remember over here. So when heat energy is provided to a liquid state, its heat energy get increases. So let it be heat energy increases. I'm just writing out the results what you get. So when you provide in a liquid state a heat energy get increases. As the heat energy get increases, there will be the random motion of the molecules. So they are kinetically active. So the kinetic energy of the molecules also increases. Okay. So when heat energy increases, kinetic motion of the molecules also increases. Motion of molecules also increases. Okay. So the kinetic motion of the molecules also increases. As the kinetic motion of the molecules increases, intermolecular force of attraction decreases, because now the molecules are far apart from each other. So intermolecular force of attraction decreases. So as it get decreases, the molecules move far apart. As they move far apart at a particular temperature, below the boiling point, evaporation take place and the liquid changes into the gaseous form. Okay. Now the next topic of discussion is over here is that the condensation. Okay. So the condensation is the process in which gaseous state changes into the liquid state. It is a converse of this above process. So here the gaseous state changes into liquid state. Now the next topic of discussion is Now the next topic of discussion is condensation, that is in the state where the gas state changes into the liquid state. And it's not the below the boiling point, because cannot be below the boiling point. Okay, so remove that point. So here in the gaseous state changes into the liquid state. When the gas, suppose you have taken boiling water, okay, and in a pan the water is boiling, okay, you just put a plate or a cover lid over to that and put off the gas, okay. After half an hour, just check out the lid. There will be a water droplets on the surface of the lid. That is the showing that the gaseous changes into the liquid state. So as the heat energy decreases, because you put off the gas, so the heat energy decreases. As the heat energy decreases, the molecules become close to each other. Hence, their kinetic motion of the molecules also decreases. As they come to each other, they are not liable to move that position as they are moving before. So there is a force of attraction developed between them, and there will be an intermolecular force of attraction which get increases. As the intermolecular force of attraction and get increases, it come into the form of liquid state. The point where the condensation take place is known as condensation point. Okay. Here in this graph I am going to show you some important things, that is how at the melting and the boiling point changes and how the graphic process takes place. So first we discuss about the melting. As you know, that the melting take place at the 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the point I told you that the melting point is the point where the solid changes into the liquid. That is the temperature of that solid, that is the freezing point at 0 degrees Celsius. Is the 0 degrees Celsius is that temperature where at a particular temperature automatically the solid changes into the liquid. So you have taken the ice and it is moving like this, and it is getting to be changed from the solid to the liquid point, okay, and from reaching from A to this position B, at this point all the solid changes into the liquid. So this point is known as to be the melting point, okay. So this will be the melting point where all the solid has changes into the liquid point, okay. Now you are coming to heat up with the liquid, okay. You are coming to heat up with the liquid. You are providing a heat to the liquid, okay. So you start providing heat to the liquid slowly, and the heat is absorbed by the liquid and coming to the in a position that the water is getting warm. Now from here the water is getting warm, and slowly to start evaporating below the 100 degrees Celsius and reaches to the 100 degree Celsius, okay, at this point, and again become constant. At this it become constant. So the point where from moving from B to C, it reaches from the point B to C. This C point is known as boiling point. This C point is nothing, is the boiling point. And as I told you before that below the boiling point, who will take place? Below the boiling point, evaporation take place, okay. So below the boiling point, here what it changes? It changes into evaporation, okay. So below the boiling point from B to C, it is evaporation. From A to B, it moving to the melting point, that is the ice is getting melt. Suppose for an example, take a ice from a freezer and put it at a room temperature, okay. Then after some time you can see a water around it. Now it starts melting and starts melting. After melting to the in a form of liquid, it maintains the temperature which is 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius is that point from where its freezing point starts and up to ends up to the lower point, that is till the melting, it all the solid a form of ice changes into the liquid till the point B. So point B is a point which is called the melting point at a 0 degree Celsius. Now that same water you put on the gas, start heating up. Now your water will become warm, then it become lukewarm, and then become hot, and after some time it starts boiling. So the portion which starts from the point B to C, having the warm, lukewarm and the hot water, tends to have, which is below the temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, that condition is of evaporation. And when it reaches to the 100 degrees Celsius, a temperature that is of 100 degrees Celsius, it reaches to the boiling point. Now above 100 degrees Celsius, the water boils and a gaseous form take place. This is the way the graph has represented the formation of an ice which is at 0 degrees Celsius to its boiling point till 100 degrees Celsius. Please go through the graph very carefully. Listen to the video again and again to understand this chapter 1 matter. And at the end of this video, you have some exercises, fill in the blanks, odd one outs, true and false, with very important long questions and some of the numericals. Please go through that numericals, that theory part. I have given all the questions with an answers. Just match it out and start learning with the chapter. Okay, finish with this chapter and learn all the important question answers related to this chapter. Okay, thank you so much.